Time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is a defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3-and-out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
They'll start the drive with Love here. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. The Panthers got to go quickly. They're moving with a sense of urgency right now. 2nd and 1. And an alley to run. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
Here we go. 18 Gator. Watch the run. Get it.
Cooper throwing on first down. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 11 yards and a Panther first down. So they were able to put the pen to the paper this week, get this deal done, contract extension. And I'm sure that the coach's front office happy. He's got to be happy too, though.
He's got to be relieved. He doesn't have to worry about moving now, doesn't have to worry about not having a team. He's back with a team he's comfortable with and where he feels he belongs. Yeah, I think he feels pretty good about this whole deal.
Check. Watch the before. Hey. High 7. Just 5.
Here's Cooper off the play fake. He's got a man on the crossing route. That's Moore. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set.
At the Bucs 37-yard line.
Hey, echo.
Looking to throw. Cooper. There goes a deep ball. End zone. And it'll be intercepted. Then it's Clinton Dix with a pick.
You're looking there at a defensive back who's maybe a step slower than he was when he came into the league a decade ago. I know I question his speed coming into the game, but when he's lost in speed, he's more than made up for it with intellect. And that's a great job of knowing how to position himself to make that interception.
Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Winston. He was looking for Chris Godwin that time. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Jameis now 13 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. He completes it to Evans. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. The Bucs forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Winston. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. The Panthers going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. And this won't get there, won't be online either. It's no good, off to the right, and this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
And he's got the hook up to Moore. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. It's a 39-yard attempt, right hash. So we will not go into the lockers tied. We do have a leader in the clubhouse, so to speak.
Yeah, it's only 3 points. Doesn't seem like much, but it looms big the way that they got it done right before the half ended.
This will be taken in at the 1.
Come on, fellas.
So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started up at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, where it was the visiting Chiefs who come in and get the victory on the road. Patrick Mahomes, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. Next, we'll stay in the AFC North, and we'll stay in Ohio as well, as we check on the other team in the Buckeye State, the Cleveland Browns. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Pittsburgh Steelers. Josh Allen, sharp in the victory, as his guys double up their record to 8-4 on the year. And then one more to highlight, Monday Night Football, as folks, you'll see a good one between the Tennessee Titans and the New York Jets. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gotten and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. This one taken from the 7. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else. We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Cooper now, throwing again. Throwing right, and that's complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 19 yards the pick up there. Move the chains.
Ready. 70, Indy.
Back to throw is Cooper. Off play action. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish.
You don't want to see me. You don't want it. Ready?
Now Cooper off the play fake. And he comes back with one complete. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 21.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Travel.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A good run of 6 yards there gets him closer to the goal line with 2nd down coming up.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Now we got 3rd and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want more than that 3. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Winston now. He finds his tight end, Howard. That's complete.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
We're into the 2nd half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. His way through contact. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And the Panthers will take over in terrific field position. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Holyfield. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Give him 15 there, and the Panthers have a 1st down.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop it. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. J.J. Watt, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. This to make it a 2-score game. And we're back now in Charlotte. It's the Panthers out in front and in control of the football as well as we begin quarter number 4. And his kick is good. And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game. His 3rd field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. That first down completion only netted them 3. 2nd and 7. Jameis to throw it. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
He's 2nd in the NFL in interceptions, and you understand why. He plays the game with great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break on the football when it's in the air.
So fun to watch his closing speed, and another example of it on that play. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Panthers are going to get it back in excellent field position. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
It is definitely hard to find space near the goal line. You always want to have a guy in the game running it who can create his own.
Second and goal from the 1. They'll try to run this one in. And he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. A great effort there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. A 1-yard run on first down, another one on second. It might not do much for the yards per carry average, but it gets them 6 points.
And at contract time, you want to show touchdowns scored way more than you want to show yards per carry.
The Panther offense staying put. They'll go for 2.
Single receiver. Hey, you're on an island over there. Single receiver. 15's mine. I got 15. 15's mine. Stop your whining.
they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay.
Game offense.
This certainly feels like they were wanting to go for two, but weren't really sure they should go for two. Do we, don't we, do we, don't we? And guess what ends up happening?
5-yard penalty.
That's right. Now you probably line up and kick the extra point.
Point after, right down the middle. And that could be important as that makes this a 16-point lead. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. A pass there over the middle to start things out. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Decent start there to the drive. Big hill to climb, needing 2 touchdowns, also a 2 two-point conversion.
So, partner, how do you eat an elephant?
I don't eat an elephant. Who eats elephant?
Well, if you do it one bite at a time. Okay. That's the way they've got to play this. Yes, there's urgent
from the gun on 3rd down. And he's got a man. It's the tight end, Howard, complete. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a 1st down. But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
And he'll be taken down inside Carolina's 15. A big play there on the catch and run. 45 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So how about this for field position? After the big play, inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing, Winston. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain, followed by a sizable loss here. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Only 2 yards on the pickup there, and now they're looking at a long 3rd down. The Bucs on 3rd down. They've had plenty of success. 8 conversions, looking for a 9th. This is 3rd and 14. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. That catch now puts him on the doorstep of 500. It's his 499th reception. And a field goal obviously means nothing here. They're going to go ahead and go for it on 4th down. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A 7-yard touchdown grab as they are able to cut into that lead. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Winston's pass complete to number 88. Touchdown, Tampa Bay.
After review of the
They had to go. So the touchdown was big. This almost equally big as he'll try to get it to a one-score game with a two-point conversion. Now Winston. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. A very pivotal two-point try that does not go their way. Now it's a big uphill battle for the rest of the fourth quarter.
The attempt was to try and make it a one-score game, right? Touchdown, get 2, and now you've tied it up. Instead, they don't get it, still down 10.
Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now, this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's more. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. And that'll set them back 5. Here's Michael Pilardi now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. This one angles out of bounds in a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
Ready? Ready. Mike, 45. Here we go.
Winston to throw. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. The intended target was Chris Godwin, but it'll be 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Winston. And that'll be incomplete. That was Dante Jackson, the one who got a hand in to knock it away. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. Winston. He's going to let it fly. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
They go for it on 4th and goal, but that winds up incomplete. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
So this one fairly well in the bag as they take over with a 1st and goal. Back to throw. Cooper. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Snags it for the pick. And they'll have the football, but deep in their own territory as he's brought down at the 5. Following the interception, Winston. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Now Winston. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 20. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. To throw is Winston. That's caught by Howard. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Clock rolling here, about to hit 30 seconds. Pressure comes in, he's brought down, it's a Panther sack. Brian Burns in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. The Bucs forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. 3rd and long for Winston. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Here's Winston. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. And this is going to be no good. He missed it off to the left, and this score will stay right where it is. Well, he was 3 for 3 to that point, but he couldn't keep the perfect game going.
Did someone mention it on the bench and jinx
Maybe
it?
jinx him a little bit.
Well, you doubt it had anything to do with overcome.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off right around the 43. And he's going to go down as time has now run out on this game. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Carolina, the streak lives as they move to 13-0 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for the Buccaneers, it's loss number 5 for them on the year. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.